Mom, Dad, I started wearing deodorant. Get the f out of my house. You are dead to me.
Illuminati is a thing you need to watch out for. They want to depopulate and slave us so much more. World domination, I'll get into that later. I'm hardcore, fierce and sexy. You're just a hater. You deserve the ridicule because you're an absolute zero. I'm the keeper of the chalice, a rock and roll hero. I'm not an idiot nobody listens to, because I'm not a failure in life like you. Let's talk about Bill Gates and the mark of the beast and the orgies in the streets at the Catholic feasts and Bill and Hillary's human trafficking ring. And George Soros got the money to pay for everything. Socialism is for losers, working for the devil, chumps that can't fight, they ain't on my level. It takes an evil one to try to debunk and doubt it, so I'd rather die than stop talking about it. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out for the Illuminati.
What's good, my people? It's the MC Too Tall Show with your hardcore, fierce, and sexy host, MC Too Tall. Now we're going to talk more about this mayoral race. So, Democratic primaries are over and done with. Adams bailed out of the party early, was already running as an independent. And you had this whole stack of people whose names aren't even worth repeating because they're names that I don't need to know for the rest of my life. Bunch of no-name characters. Whitney Tilson, Brad Landers, who went and got himself arrested as a publicity stunt, which did gain him some ground in the primaries on Cuomo, but he didn't get past Cuomo. Cuomo finished at number 2. And the one who won the Democratic primary, of course, was Zohran Mamdani. And people are going to be mentioning this name, and mentioning this name, and mentioning this name. But Andrew Cuomo decided to switch to independent. So now you got 2 former Democrats that are now running as independents. And the Democratic nominee, which is Mamdani, and the Republican, Curtis Sliwa. And the one clear choice is obviously Curtis Sliwa. He loves animals, and he prefers criminals locked up instead of your toothpaste at Rite Aid. And it makes perfect sense to me. This should be a no-brainer because we're talking about a socialist, jihadist, rapping barista guy who has nothing to say about public safety except something that would damage public safety even more, which is to defund the police even further than they already are, versus a man who's dedicated his life to public safety long before this socialist, jihadist, rapping barista was even born. And of course, I'm talking about Curtis Sliwa, a man who's dedicated his life to public safety. And he's also on board with animal rights. You realize that there'll be no kill shelters in New York City. There'll be no kill shelters in New York City if Curtis Sliwa becomes mayor. Thank God for that. We're going to want that. We're going to want that. Because let's say you didn't have time to neuter your little guys. and somehow there's some cute little kittens born. And you don't want to see these poor little things suffer. You want to see them find homes. And so it's always good to take them to a no-kill shelter. And then with Curtis Sliwa as mayor, you could rest at ease that every shelter in New York will be a no-kill shelter. And this way, little guys like MJ here, let me show you MJ. Little guys like MJ here will always have a happy home. And he's a little frisky right now, but he's going to run around and play a little bit while I continue this video. Meanwhile, you don't see Zoran Mandani petting a cat or a dog. In fact, more often than not, you will hear him imply that he wants to separate police officers from dogs and horses. Now, let me tell you something. Police on horseback are actually needed in some parts of the city where the crowds are too thick to go through with a patrol car or a motorcycle or a scooter, and you need to get on horseback. This way the officer is seen and people know to get out of the way of the police officer mounted on this big majestic creature. Horses are very necessary for public safety. So are canines. Canines could sniff out criminals. Canines could sniff out lost children. Canines could sniff out drugs. And canines, more often than not, protect their human partners from some of the most ornery, most dangerous criminals. Talk about an animal that's built and bred to lay his life down for his human counterpart. A doggy will never sell you out. Friends, girlfriends, they could sell you out. But a doggy never sells you out. And you know that. So, animal welfare. That's one of the things that Curtis Sliwa stands on. That's one of the things I support. Public safety. That's one of the things Curtis Sliwa stands for. It's matter of fact, it's the main thing he stands for, which is why I'm supporting him, which is why I've given him my endorsement long ago. As soon as he announced his candidacy, boom, next day, there I was giving my endorsement. Because I believe in Curtis Sliwa. I believe we'll have a much safer city when Curtis Sliwa is mayor. Not so much so with Mandani. And the public safety records of an ex-cop, incumbent Mayor Eric Adams, or disgraced former governor Andrew Cuomo, we see where they stand. I mean, Andrew Cuomo was one of those big proponents of bail reform. He's a friend of cop killers. I mean, not that he's palsy-walsy with them directly, but cop killers love him, that's for sure. There were people out in these streets who have been previously apprehended for the murder of police officers. And you have Andrew Cuomo to thank for that. They discovered Chinese spies in Kathy Hochul's office. They were layovers from the Cuomo administration. Lest we forget about the botched up handling of COVID that costed human lives. With a retooled Javits Center for COVID and a USS Comfort, a huge medical ship, retooled and redesigned just for taking COVID patients, both the Javits Center and the USS Comfort remained empty, while Cuomo crammed the COVID patients in nursing homes. As a result of that, many senior citizens who would still be alive today if not for that decision are not alive. This isn't something Curtis Sliwa did, and it's not something he would have done in Cuomo's shoes. But Sliwa's not running for governor, he's running for mayor. And this city needs a mayor like Curtis Sliwa. Priority one is public safety. We need the only one who has that experience in public safety. Yeah, Eric Adams was a cop, but he had a desk job. Curtis Sliwa was out in the streets. He invented a damn task force so he could be out in the streets, making these streets and subways safe. The man who knows most about public safety, at a time when public safety is number one, should be the mayor of New York City. Once again, you heard it from me again. I'm going with Curtis Sliwa. Respect God. Watch out for the Illuminati. Follow and share this wonderful content. Tell all your friends about me. Stay strong. Keep kicking that slang. It's your boy in the building. The hardcore, fierce, and sexy one himself. Hip-hop legend, recording engineer, underground rock and roll hero, MC Tuto. Be good.